Look at this, guys. What in the world? What kind of mess is this guy looking at right here? Huh? What is that? Well, something I was thinking about. Got some chores to do. Got little maintenance things to do, and I thought I'd take you along and tell you what I'm up to. So give it a minute, and I won't be horsing around. I promise. I'll get right back to y'all. We'll have a little fun, maybe. Howdy everybody, DW Verts here again with another Hickbilly Outdoors episode. We're going to talk a little bit about fishing. Impromptu, that mess I just showed you in the old preview shot. It's the only thing I've done scripted today is I kind of undid all them poles. That was the way they were last time I unloaded my little John boat here. And that's the way they stay to go fishing again usually. And that's what this is about. Is I'm getting ready to go fishing hopefully this week. It's Sunday evening. I just got back from my restaurant, shutting down for the week, and the 3 hours it took to finish cleaning and all the stuff that I do that makes us have tremendous food and happy customers. And I need a little wind down time. So I'm going to work on some tackle. It's kind of a warm evening, but there's a breeze. It's kind of get a little head shot. I don't know when I'm going to get to go, but I get a head start on this, if that makes any sense. So you're going to be going fishing. I don't care if you're walking the bank in a pond. I don't care if you're fishing on a bass boat in a major tournament. You got to be prepared, organized, and ready to go. And it can be a mess. I have a mess here, kinda. It's the same mess I've had most of summer because I'm kind of fishing the same stuff. I'm fishing the same lake mostly. The only thing that really changed was some of this filming, which I have done some underwater filming. I'm editing all that right now. It made a change in some of my tackle. But it can be a daunting deal, and I don't know a bass fisherman, I've never met one yet, didn't pack too much stuff. Especially when you got a 20, 21 foot bass boat and all that storage, and I like to keep it as simple as I can. The lake I'm fishing right now, I could technically take one rod. Would that hold me back? Possibly. But I could take a flipping stick and a variety of baits, and probably all I'd need. I've been taking 8 or 10 rods, and why is that? Well, I like to think I'm versatile, for one thing. There's other ways to fish this lake besides flipping the pads. And I try to take advantage of that, although the flipping the pads has been the only way to catch decent bass all summer. I've caught one bass so far on a frog. Caught one last trip. I have a frog rod with me and I go this week, because it's just what you do. So anyway, here's what I'm trying to get across. If you can get by without the bare minimum, by all means, take extra. But find out where the bare minimum is first. Find out what you have to have. I have been fishing this last few weeks with as many as 4 flipping rods. Pitching rods, whatever you want to say. Heavy duty, heavy tackle, worm jig. Like this Dobbins 765 right here with a jig on it. Because that is the preemptive way to put a whack on these fish. Go with your strengths, go with seasonal patterns, go with what kind of lake are you fishing, clear water, whatever. There's not one spinning rod here and there hadn't been all summer. I feel guilty about it, but I don't have a big bass technique I'm comfortable with. I'm trying to catch big bass. It's ultimatebass.com iBass Gold. I'm trying to do good in it. I didn't do very good last month. I don't have a technique that's going to be effective enough for me this time of year with spinning rods, so I haven't been packing one. Your strengths are important. The lake you're fishing is important. The creek, pond, if you're fishing off the bank, keep it simple. So, I would never go bass fishing in a flipping type situation without 2 flipping rods, just in case. Do you need 4? No. Will 4 help you catch more bass? Possibly. when I take 4, I've got 4 completely different baits on. I've got the big plastic worm, a smaller plastic worm. I may have a creature bait like that one. That one caught a dandy the other day. It's hard not to have a jig on 12 months out of the year. Can I get by with one? Absolutely. I'd go out tomorrow or whenever I go fishing. I'm dreaming. I would go out with one with a medium-sized plastic worm or a chunky worm, not maybe the big one, but to start with, or a creature bait, and work out from there. But since I own them, so I have room for them, I'm going to take extra. If you're in a kayak, I saw a kayak the other day, a guy had 5 or 6 rods. I couldn't do that. I've tried 3, and 3 is about 1.5 too many, my kayak. Minimum, if you're in a boat, 3 or 4 rods, yeah. If you're on a bigger body of water, like I'm fishing where there's crankbait possibilities, yeah, you want versatile multi-purpose rods, I guess should be the point. When I go fishing this week on my 115-acre lake, I'm going to have probably 2, possibly 3 flipping rods. I'm going to have a dedicated frog rod, even though the frog's not working. But the thing about that frog rod is, that frog rod will also, could be a pitch and flipping rod. 7 foot, it'd be a 7.3 heavy action or extra heavy. It can do other tasks. It could throw a buzzbait. I really wouldn't like it as much, but it could. It could throw a big spinnerbait, which I pack spinnerbaits with me 12 months out of the year, even though not really working. I keep a box of spinnerbaits and buzzbaits, and I think there's some chatterbaits in there for what I throw them. So I'll have a couple flipping sticks, a frog rod. I will have a crankbait rod, probably 2, because there's crankbait opportunities on this 115-acre lake. If I do it the way they are right here, I've got 2 of them right now. One of them, well, they both have square bills because it's video I'm trying to edit for you guys. So I'll have a square bill on one and probably a deep runner on the other to be versatile. And the little bit of crankbait fishing I may do, it kind of gives me, I switch on and off those rods. One would be fine. Some people aren't going to be in crankbait water. If you're fishing a pond, probably not in crankbait water. Not for me anyway. It's hard not to take a multi-purpose rod, like a medium heavy. I'm seeing 2 medium heavy rods here right now. And one of them is this Dobbins. It's a 683 Sierra 6.5 footer with a swim jig on it. You'll see that in a video on the Zara Spook. I can't hardly go anywhere this time of year without having that swim jig. It hadn't been doing very good for me. But I can't hardly go anywhere without that. Now this rod here, medium heavy with a 14-pound fluorocarbon on it. I'm still working on fluorocarbon. I could throw a multitude of bait. This is the most versatile rod there is. It'd be hard. This rod would go with me anywhere, to a pond, to a major lake, to a in-between lake like I'm fishing now. It can do so many things. I could throw buzzbait, spinnerbaits. I could throw a crankbait on it. I'd prefer not to. Throw a small jig, throw a worm. That's a no-brainer. Okay, tackle-wise, forget the rods. Because if you can take 3 or 4 rods, take 3 or 4 rods. If you got room for more, wonderful. Keep it simple to start with, to build off of. Baits. How's that for? It's a plain old tackle box. It's a plain old bag. Full of plastic. That thing weighs, that's 4 pounds of plastic. Do I need that much? No way. But every time I go, I kind of trim through it and see stuff. I've got some 10-inch worms in there. I've got some 6-inch worms of different styles. I've got some swim bait trailers. If I want to throw a swim bait, a chatterbait, or I've been using them on a buzz bait. It's a great buzz bait body. There's some double tails. Double tails work all the time for everything, from a buzz bait to a jig trailer. Caught just with a jig head. Always have. These are more of a gray with red and black flake. I've got some white ones and chartreuse ones. I always have some of them. Reach in here. There's some of those palm trees. You guys loaned me those. Yeah, I know. More double tails. Leave these at the house. I always pack Senko or whatever. Gee whiz, that's probably a mistake. 10-inch worms again. More double tails in a green with gold flake. Again, jig trailer, whatever. There's some of them, the 6-inch saw tails, the G-tails have been fishing with all freaking year, like that. That has been my most productive bait overall all year. It's my secret, whatever. So, and there's there's some creatures in here. There's some creature baits. There's some of the Bitters bats and a green pumpkin with some flake. I mean, so I got some creatures, more creatures, some crawdad, oh golly, like I don't know what you call them, big crawdad flapping dad things. I don't know what they're even called. Jig treaders, or if you use a Texas rig, versatile. So anyway, I've got a culmination of baits I'm comfortable with. Jig treaders, standalone plastic worms. Things can be used for both. That thing there, when you're done with it, you take that much off and put it on a jig this time of year, guys, you got a fish catching machine. You didn't hear that from me. So keep it simple. Plastics are probably the biggest thing I do this time of year. I have a box of plugs. It's probably got 25, 30 plugs in it because it's just as easy as taking 5 as it is taking these. It's got crankbaits, square bills, deep runners. It's got some Zara spooks in there. I see a chug bug. All in that one box. Yeah, a whopper plopper. Non-rattling, there's even a little swim bait in there, a 4-inch bluegill swim bait. I got some bigger swim baits in the boat though. Simple. I could take that to any tournament in Missouri tomorrow and have all I needed. Have I got boxes there, Spooks? You're darn right. If I got boxes of other top waters, my gosh, guys, I got 800,000 crankbaits. Because it ain't simple, but keep it simple. Box of spinner baits. Another plain old tackle box that has jigs and jig heads, live rubber. That's all. There's probably 10 or 12 heads in there and probably 25 skirts. It folds up and it fits in the bag good. As far as that, and there's frogs. I don't take my frog box. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and somewhere here, oh, there's one on the rod. So I got 6 frogs, different colors. It's fine. It's all I need. Simple. I don't need more than that. I don't need to take an extra box. Got a 21-foot bass boat, take all of them you want. I'm telling you, I've got a black one, I've got a kind of a gold one, I've got a white bottom one, I've got an orange bottom one, and a yellow bottom one. Bottom's really all it counts. Simple. Since I don't have my boat done, my storage done, I'm not packing a bunch of boxes. I'm still using this bag that I use when I go with my buddy in his bass boat. That bag holds a lot of stuff. There's some 10-inch worms there. I've been keeping there separate from that other bag, just a few bags. There is some fish scent. Oh, there's another one. There's that orange frog there. Oh, nasty. I keep my scissors, keep my line cutters, keep the pit bulls, keep a hook sharpener. Keep it all in one spot. Keeping a bag like that, you can't hardly go wrong unless you forget the bag. Yeah, sound like me. Simple. So what I'll do here in a few minutes, I'm going to go through all these rods. Well, some of them. The ones with all of them, I'm going to cut the bait off. Strip some line off, especially these fluorocarbon and monofilament rods. I'm going to cut back a few feet. I always cut back to the first guy because it leaves that little divot in the line. Check it. Decide if I want to leave these baits on, whatever. Check hooks. Don't be chintzy. Sharpen hooks. Because I'm no point going fishing without a sharp hook. And then I'll re-rig. I may try some different baits. Even the braid, the 65-pound rods, they're going to get retied because it's too easy to do right now. I got time. I get some more work done next day or so, and I'm going to go fishing. All I got to do is load this stuff up. Battery's charged. Everything's ready to go. I got some thinking to do about where I'm going to fish, but keep it simple. I will pack with me my next trip to my local lake here, trying to win this frickin' iBass thing. I will pack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rods. I only need 2. How simple is that? They won't all 8 be on the deck. The crankbait rods will be shoved to the back, and swim bait rod may be shoved to the back when I'm up in them pads. You know, just I guess I'm trying to get the point across. It ain't hard. Keep it simple. If you're bank fishing, you take more than 2 rods, you're fishing a pond that's different than any pond I've ever fished. If you're fishing clear water, you don't need a flipping stick with 65-pound braid. You probably need a spinning rod and a light casting rod, whatever. Swim jig works, I don't care what kind of water. Dedicated rods, flipping stick, crankbait, top water, frog. That was quick. Did I do right? Dedicated rods. If I'm going to be purely dedicated. Crankbait rod is a dedicated rod. I got 3 of them here. Flipping stick, the most dedicated rod of all. Top water being a rod has a little bit more tip. My buzzbait poles, my spook poles, I have a little more give, just a little bit with some good solid backbone. And crankbait rods. That's pretty simple, wasn't it? Why am I taking 8 rods? I have to think about that. Okay, that's went on longer than I thought because I rambled. Guys, I hope y'all get something out of it. If you don't, I don't know. Go watch something with Pamela Anderson. Heck, I'd rather watch Pamela Anderson than me any day. Although, I could get why you watch this. Guys, I'm Dale Verts. As always, be glad you're not. If it was you here, you'd have a video done 5 minutes ago. You'd already have tackle rigged. It ain't the way I do things. Hickbilly Outdoors. I'm glad y'all watched. Just remember, I'm a Hickbilly, and you're starting to figure out how that happens, ain't you? Thank y'all. God bless. We'll talk to you again soon.